Oh, that is absolute dynamite. And boom, it goes.
And boom, the layout goes. Slusta and De Kran are on the move. To De Kran!
What are they discussing? That's a goal. And welcome to the broadcast, ULTI.TV, bringing you World Games action here. This is the bronze medal match. Powerhouses of Ultimate from Northern Europe and from way down under, Germany taking on Australia. I'm Stefan Rapazzo, alongside Sean Colford to bring you the action. Sean, you just rolled into the London invite today. How's your day been going? You taking in a bit of action? Clapham's gone well for you.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to be here, Steph. Obviously, I was, as you say, I was not around for most of this tournament, but Clapham just triumphed in the Open final. So here for one game, one win. So it seems like maybe I should miss all the tournaments and roll in for the final. But it seems like I'm a good luck charm in that sense. So
good
perhaps that'll be
coaching.
the plan going forward. Great coaching from me, being on the sideline and just trying not to get in the way.
And excited about this one. Of course, two mainstays on the international mixed scene. Australia taking on Germany in mixed. Potential preview what we might see in a crossover at World Games. They're not in the same pools as they were not here, so a nice crossover. They've both gone very well through this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, they've both been doing very well this tournament. They both have really good history in the World Games. Australia got to the final a few times. Germany, one of the darlings of the last tournament, really making a kind of surprise run to the late stages, beat the USA, I think, early on. So this has all the potentials of being a classic.
Well, let's see how we go. Germany on the board first with that goal to Hartley Greenwald, and now Sam McGuckin switches fields, goes to Wee. Now Cat Phillips fills the space. Phillips dumps, it's Gann. Gann fires upfield, gets Wee. Wee goes to Weah. Weah to McGuckin. And Gann again. Gann all the way over to Wee. Wee leads upfield. Carr motions the hammer, looks back to center in the dump space. Gets a dance move out of Wee. And Wee leads forward, lays out and picks up a goal. Australians level things. That will be 1-1 on your scoreboard very soon.
I don't think the Germans will be too unhappy with that score. It's really, really good reset defense, and Wee has to go all the long way around to get free there. You can see it was a really early look back by Carr, and that's just really, really good reset defense. Takes that first one away, just gets beaten a little bit up the line on that second move there. But overall, I'd say Charlotte's going to be all right with how he played the reset there. Just good patience from Carr, and it was a really good early turn to look at the reset as well. When you're in that kind of situation, the last thing you want is to be hearing 6, 7, 8 before you've looked at your reset.
Look at that pushy.
Yeah, a little push, great layout catch in the end.
So a couple of clean holds, both into a upwind. It's kind of a crosswind today. The winds changed directions from yesterday. These fields yesterday were very much upwind, downwind for verticality. Today it's a little bit more into our faces, coming to the camera here.
Yeah, I'd say so. Diagonal coming towards the camera, probably not quite all the way diagonal, but it's certainly not upwind, downwind.
And Sean, you weren't here yesterday, but I will tell you that this is substantially less windy than yesterday. It was a very breezy day yesterday. Today there's a breeze, but a very manageable one in comparison.
Yeah, I could tell with some of the throws that were coming out that, you know, some of the best throwers in the world struggling to throw. You can tell when you see that, you can tell the conditions are pretty inclement.
Yep. So Rob Andrews with the big inside out backhand pull. That will put a hole in the earth, and Ava opts not for the pull reception, does get up to center. Greenwald continues the next throw, and now it's Diekman. Diekman to the spark plug. Volchak quick. And Priyan can't handle. And I believe we've got an injury. Player down there holding to the ankle.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened there. Maybe Priyan is like caught the other Australian player with her foot as she's trying to lay out. Volchak there has the open throw to Priyan, just can't quite get it right.
Ooh, I do think Priyan's up cleat
Just
caught Dorothy Lee.
That's just unfortunate. There's clearly no intent there. But that was a nice play from Germany. Ran off the front of the stack, going deep, opened everything up. They ran nice down the side there. Diekman had lots of space. Germany's offense, as I said, was one of the real drivers for their run in the last World Games. Fingers crossed there that, you said Dorothy Lee, fingers crossed that she's okay, but it looks like she's taken a bit of a blow to the ankle there.
Well, we'll hope for her to be able to return, certainly to be in good health, and a couple of switches. Looks like Konrad Schlor will switch for Nico Muller, playing defense.
It's not a bad player to bring on, although Nico's not a bad player to bring off.
No,
So
he's
shows the strength of these World Games teams.
but I do like, Nico Muller being very much an offensive specialist.
Yes.
Schlur will give you a little bit more defensively, and why not? And some legs. He's not been running the last minute as Muller has, and McGuckin goes into the backfield. Rob Andrews fills space, low throw, but collected. And back again, John O'Keefe around to Georgia, Egan Griffiths. And Keys shows every potential throw and then goes middle to Foreman. Volchak almost got a piece of that, but it is Prentice who comes into it. Prentice to Foreman. Foreman shoots. It's McGuckin in front of Diekman. Looks good. It is good. And that's a break for the Crocs to take a 2-1 lead.
That was a great cut by Foreman. It's very, very difficult to scoop past Konrad Schlur that way. You can see he fakes back into the backfield and then beats him coming up the line. Very, very difficult to do. You can see Schlur just gets the angle slightly wrong. Foreman gets that space in front and that huck out in front. And if there's one player on this Australia team you want to see running deep with the disc up in the air, it is Sam McGuckin, one of the best receivers in the world. Really, really good point for the Australia D-line there after Germany kind of coughed it up a bit. Volchak, usually such a reliable thrower for this team. You can see it was a really nice peel from her trying to get that block, but a good catch by Prentice, and yeah, that's a beautiful shot deep by Foreman.
Love to see it. McGuckin, a Brisbane native originally, but that's where he started his ultimate. I'm not sure he's actual native, but his youth days of playing, and now in Melbourne for many years, part of the Ellipsis Club that does it, started off as a women's club, then they started playing mixed. I think found their feet playing mixed at the US Open back in 2019, and then since then have now thrived in the Open Club as well, and are one of 3 very strong clubs in Melbourne with heads of state and Chile. I'm sure there are a handful of others, but a strong ultimate scene down in Victoria in Melbourne.
Speaking like someone who's been there a few times, Steph. It's very detailed knowledge.
I think I got to look back there when I said 3 strong teams. Cat Phillips wasn't sure that those other 2 belonged. Volchak sends deep. Muller, the intended receiver. Kylo in front, but Muller gets up big and brings it down with 2 hands.
Nico Muller, noted deep receiver there. That was a really nice throw from Volchak. You can see those 2 Australian defenders as well, peeling off the back of the stack. Kylo just gets underneath it slightly, I think, just doesn't quite judge it right. Nico Muller got a great read on it, but that's the kind of throw that we're used to seeing from Lepka Volchak in this mixed environment with the World Games teams. Such a weapon with the disc and so hard to cover in those big spaces that you usually find in this competition. So we see this throw again. Wins on the underneath space, just gets some nice width, and then that flick shot is absolutely perfect when you think there's 1 defender in front, 2 behind, and Nico Muller is able to catch it with 2 hands. Really slick offense from Germany after a break. That's exactly what they needed. So 1 break down, we're 2-2. And Germany going to be trying to chip away at the Australian lead.
What do you think of the red Germany kits?
It's weird. There's a cognitive dissonance there. I was looking over thinking Canada were warming up.
Yeah.
But I don't mind the jerseys themselves, but I'm just a real fan of the usual German kind of white and black aesthetic.
Yeah,
I really
think
like those.
It
those
threw me
kits
off
usually.
as well. I think that's why they beat the Tokai Super Team, was the red jerseys.
That was the thing.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone's just looking up going, God, who are these people?
This isn't right. Oh my God, they scored again. Well, whatever it was, it must work, right?
Yeah.
Gann goes through Cat Phillips, and then McGuckin. Nice catch by Carr. That one came in hot. Wead again. Gann fires, hits forward, and in for goal. That one went through the hands of Angela Pigeon for the assist.
Yeah, that was a zone call by Germany. You can see they just climb out in a kind of screen up front with a middle person trying to take anything there, and Brazil. I was about to say Brazil, the orange, the green shorts, yellow shirts are throwing me off. The Australians worked around it really nicely. Just went over the top of it down the sideline, back into the middle, and then Germany completely exposed to that deep shot. You see that throw into the middle, and now there's just space all around. It's a pretty easy goal, but when you play zone offense like that, like Australia did there, that's that fine to the sideline, and when you find someone on the sideline in the zone, you want to try and trap them there, but they just got back into the middle of the field so easily. Germany might come back with something like that again, but they'll definitely have to tweak it because the Australians found that very easy.
Yeah, Alex Gann, so dynamic there. Great vision. He's a 5-tool player. He's got speed. He's got all the throws, and he sometimes, say he's not the tallest, but his ups are incredible and can, play really every part of the field. Alex Gann, a incredible utility player, and Australia have been very happy to have found him. He came out of the bench club in Sydney, I believe, and played 2 years there. I played one nationals with bench when they were called an iteration of French. No, I didn't get to play with him at all.
Okay.
But I think he played the year or two after me as one of his first years, and then Colony, as they were back then, now Sunder, were on to him pretty quick. And I don't know how that recruitment happened, but very quickly he ended up on that roster. Diekman sends deep. Priyan has steps and gets up big with the right hand. Nice passage of play there. Diekman with the bomb to Priyan.
That's an absolute dime. Really, really nice.
And maybe that wasn't Diekman. That could have been
Haag.
Haag.
I think it was Diekman. I think Haag was celebrating because it was a very nice goal. But
okay.
On that far sideline, flick back into the middle of the field, kind of arcing back out towards Priyan. Incredibly challenging throw, but really, really nicely executed. Germany, last couple of points, have been making hay with that deep shot. They're definitely looking for it quite a bit. So you see it goes over to that far side, Diekman on it, and just a flick bomb down the field. Really good throw. Like you said, Steph, at the time, Nikki Priyan had steps as she usually does. She's been a phenomenal deep receiver for every team she's played for years now, and not slowing down at all.
No, she is firing on all cylinders. I was so impressed with her at least second European Beach Championship last week. She was a huge part of that. Two of the women on this team, Levka and Priyan, worked so well together in a 5-player set on a different surface.
Yeah.
And of course they bring so much prowess to the German national club as well.
Yeah.
But Priyan, chiseled veteran, getting it done, not losing a single. Leads, and we gets the job done. Australia stay ahead. It's 4-3.
FM from Germany, again, trying to give the Australians something to slow them down, to stop that flow, try and get them out of this really comfortable position they're in at the moment. They're just in a real groove, and so they're trying to gum up the middle of the field, make them play wide, but Australia were taking on those inside shots every single time, running through the middle of the field. It's also that handler give-go movement, very difficult to stop, and you've got handlers that are so quick in and out their breaks. But you see these inside shots almost every time we're open. You go backwards, go back again. Australia worked it down really, really nicely. Germany came out of that FM relatively late. Probably the Australians were already in their groove by that point, and they were able to hold on. So far, the Germans have been kind of trying out some stuff, trying different things, the zone, the FM, try different things to get these Australians uncomfortable. Nothing has yet made them uncomfortable.
And thanks to all of you watching this live or in perpetuity. For our live viewers, welcome. We had some difficulty getting the stream. We're back, and all the action here. You'll see that scoreboard, 4-3. Australia got 1 break.
Yep.
And other than that, it has been on serve.
Yes, indeed. It was a throwaway as well. No blocks so far in this game. Both teams playing very, very nice offense, other than the 1 turnover from Volchak down the sideline.
And that pull caught by Avamula. Now to Nico Mula, no relation. Diekman to Greenwald. Greenwald fires. Diekman and Andrews clack heels. And no call by Andrews. Diekman collects the goal. And the Germans respond 4-4 now.
An incredibly spicy throw. Not the kind of thing that we have seen up to this point in the game from Germany. They have been sending it deep a lot, but it's more flat out for people to run onto because they've had steps deep. That one was just a load of blade on it, trying to put it in the back corner. I mean, Diekman was on that right side, but if there's one person on this Australian team that I wouldn't necessarily want to just toss it up and let's see what happens when they're in the vicinity, it's Rob Andrews. So, brave throw from Hartley Greenwald. Andrews slips over, so in the end it's pretty straightforward, pretty regulation. But you see this, Diekman goes immediately, and Greenwald sees it and just tries to go kind of around rather than putting it over his head.
Yeah, they were step for step there. Clacked hooves indeed, and I think Rob Andrews knows it was him in pursuit. He was trying to chase. So I like the no foul call there. You see that one called from time to time in the foot race. And I much prefer it this way. I don't think, Diekman didn't foul him.
No.
It was like...
It's just coming together.
Yep, exactly. With that, it looks like we've got a timeout on the field. We're going to take a short break here. We'll come back with more action right now. It's Germany 4, Australia 4.
Yeah, look, all of my friends going crazy. I gotta brag on myself.
4-4, Germany, Australia, 18 minutes in. 2 World Games powerhouses having a prep hit out here in London. Stefan Rapazzo on the call with Sean Colfer, bringing you all the action. Thanks for joining us here on ULTI.TV. It's a nice afternoon in London.
It is, it's lovely.
We call this lovely weather around here.
Absolutely, this is lovely.
It is lovely. A little cloud cover indeed is nice too.
Yeah, it's not raining and it's not grey, which is absolutely lovely.
Alex Gann with the disc. As we see Weah and now McGuckin. And the Australians try to cross half, but a knock away from Volleson.
It's a double clutch on that throw from Sam McGuckin. Went to throw it, thought, oh, maybe not, and then tried to throw it a second time. And Wallison was just in perfect position.
Low to Siebert, and then picked up and fired out of the hands and Lasse Hogan, and it's turned over. Unable to connect and ran back to the line by Carr. Weah claps it. Now sends deep, Pigeon on the chase, and
hits the net.
Little interference, and that'll come way back. Hogan hammers, looking for Sontag. He goes forward for Erdmann. And Erdmann goes back to Hogan. Sontag having a nice Sunday out here. Goes to Erdmann. And around to Siebert. Nobody on. Cat Phillips in the poach. And Siebert gets another free one and fires in for the goal. It's Lasse Hogan collecting.
Yeah, I don't think that was a poach. I think that was a gender mismatch for a while because there was some confusion on the quick taken from Hogan. And there's someone who's not picked people up, and so Cat Phillips had to mark Lasse Hogan for a stretch there, and then was on Sontag. You saw Sontag strike across the front of the field, and one of the male matching players drive out the end zone to cover him. Just left, I think it was Siebert, wide open. And Germany did really, really well working down that space. You can see it's so tempting when you've got no force. You can do whatever you want to kind of take on something that might not be there, but Siebert did a good job working it sensibly, and in the end, Hogan is free on the front of the end zone. Nice point for Germany, although a little less the messiest point we've had so far, Steph. A couple of, there's a block there, there's a couple of unforced turnovers, but Germany get that block back, and we.
You know, you love to see it go back and forth. Certainly, you know, pattern ultimate back and forth with holds is great, but it gets even more exciting with runs and breaks in between and some lead changes. So, and I just get a good feeling about this one.
Yeah, me too. These teams look very well matched. I think it's one of those things, when you're watching a game with loads of holds, I think you at least want some defensive pressure. And Germany have tried a few things, and that backhand force seems to be the thing that has stuck and has actually got the Australians in some uncomfortable positions. So let's see what we get out of them this time.
Gann and Prentice now back to Gann. Keys receives in the middle. Prentice on the chase, front foot. Cat Phillips catches strong with two hands, goes up to McGuckin. He's unguarded, and as such he shoots, and Gann puts on the afterburners and comes up clutch for the goal.
I'm not quite sure what happened there. Why would you leave Sam McGuckin unmarked? There must have been some switch somewhere or something. It looked as though you had Sontag in space in the middle. Maybe we'll see on the replay, but it's a nice throw deep from McGuckin. The Australians are so good at that. When they get that inside shot, they always have someone rushing up for the next one as well, so you've got that little dish back into the middle. They're really good at that. So you see, I mean, Gann has steps as well deep. It's just some miscommunication must have been between the German defenders, because in the end, it's a pretty regulation throw. Maybe put it a little far for Gann, but a talented receiver like that, he'll bring that one in, no bother.
Yeah, I don't get how Sam McGuckin can be left free. I know he is more of a receiving threat, but that much space, he is a World Games player. He's a well-rounded.
More than good enough to throw that.
And also knows how to throw to Gann, to put it fast and in front and let the speedster catch up.
Yeah, it looked like it was a flick on one side of the field and flat on the other to try and kind of challenge them and throw those. If they're going to shoot it down that far side, make them put some shape on it. But yeah, some miscommunication there. We'll see. That's the first time that kind of thing has happened for Germany. I'm sure they'll figure it out. Good coaching staff.
Rob Andrews with the pull.
It's a really good puller.
He's, I mean, one of the best pullers in the world, I could say. As much as I've seen anyone on the international stage.
I agree.
He is, Andrews. What a pull chase, too. Yeah. Knocks that one away as Volchak was trying to cut underneath it. Now Prentice goes to McGuckin. Chance to break here. Prentice looks upfield with a pivot. Back to McGuckin. Far sideline lead throw in for the goal. And that one into the hands of Alex Patterson. Big break for Australia.
Yeah, big break. And that all comes from phenomenal pull. Great pull chase. You know, he said it as it was in the air. He's one of the best pullers in the world. There's no doubt about that. We saw that at the World Games. We've seen it so many times for Australia. For, as you said, Colony as they were at the time in 2018. And from Sunder since then, he's just a world-class puller. Great chase. He just put so much pressure on Lebka Volchak. It was already a tough throw when you've got a defender that big and that talented coming down and making it difficult. It's just so challenging to pull those discs in, and then good, patient D-line offense until you get a player wide open in the front cone.
And just to bring Rob Andrews up to speed, all that is absolutely right. He has, with Cupcake back in the day, one of the Colony members at the time who moved to Melbourne and are part of the Ellipsis Club now as well.
Yeah,
he was in Ellipsis at 2022.
2022 he was, yeah.
World Ultimate. Indeed he was. And that one rolls out. And Ava Muller brings it to the line. Nico Muller to Charlotte Schall. Schall gets Diekman on the far sideline, looks back to middle, and Schall is there again. Muller fires hard. Diekman takes high. Motions for the backhand, then looks to middle. Muller. Schal looking at the Australian zone front. Now Ava Muller. Nico Muller right up the guts to Priyan. Back to Nico Muller. Muller fires, hits Hartley Greenwald. And Germany levels things up. 6 apiece with the goal.
Yeah, that was a nice zone by the Australians, throwing something slightly different. 2-3-2, really trying to make everything difficult in the middle of the field. I think they transitioned out of it up front, but not quite at the back. It's obviously very difficult when things are moving around. You don't just want to leave people completely open. It was Cat Phillips who was closest to Greenwald when he caught that there. You see Cat Phillips at the back there, just Greenwald over her right shoulder. She's pointing, trying to get people in the right place. It's just a great spot. Greenwald is open, but that was a nice zone from the Australians. They shut down things, made it difficult for the Germans. It wasn't until the Germans were able to move it side to side a lot and get that wide open person in the middle. That's not kind of the zone breaker you're looking for.
Hartley Greenwald, the goal scorer, a well-pedigreed ultimate player, American-born, both his parents world champions in the sport of ultimate.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And of course, a member of Berlin's Wall City for, well, as long as I've been in Europe, at least since 2018 now, but
Yeah.
I think a lot longer than that as well.
German mixed player last year, alongside several of his teammates here, Ava Muller, Nistri Sontag. I'm sure there's others. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's quite a few of them.
Yeah, his first selection to a World Games team.
He's a good player. He's very solid, can kind of do a bit of everything. Good defender, good offensive player, good thrower, good receiver. Seems like a nice man as well, so that's nice.
Yeah, very nice man. That much I can certainly confirm. I got to have dinner with Konrad Schlur and Nikki Priyan where they live, and a whole wealth of the Berlin crew came over, including Hartley Greenwald, and had that catch up. That's when I got to learn of his pedigree of being a second generation player.
Did you go to a rave?
We did not. It was a
Not the full
it was
Berlin
a calm
experience.
Berlin experience.
Okay,
It was
yeah.
lovely. It was incredible. Konrad Schlur made a wonderful doll. Oh, Guk tries to go trailing edge with the layout, and another chance for Germany to level the break scales.
Very much an unforced turnover there. There was space underneath, just kind of missed the throw.
Schal and a pickup field.
Yeah, McGuckin had space there, and just the throw a little too far to his left. He clearly made the assessment in the moment that the best way to get it was trailing edge. Looked great, great bid, just couldn't quite bring it in.
Now we're in. Schal tries to get a move out of Sontag, but prefers what she sees upfield from Volleson. Back to Volchak. Volchak shoots, hits Konrad Schlur. Schlur sends deep. Diekman has space. And a break back puts Germany back in the driver's seat. 7-6.
Yeah, that's a tough point for Sam McGuckin. Obviously, couldn't quite get that catch. Would have been an amazing catch, but couldn't quite get his hand on it, and then just lost track of Diekman going deep. But the Germans, this has been very, very much a seesaw game so far. The Germans have got a couple of turns out of Australia, and both teams actually, when they've got that turn, they've been really efficient in kind of punching them in. As we see McGuckin a little frustrated after the point. But as you say, Steph, Germany with that point, they're back on top, and it looks as though this might be a timeout for the Australians.
We do indeed have a timeout as we take one more look at the passage of play.
I just started to move, didn't she?
And here's the Volchak fire, and
McGuckin just gets caught underneath. You can see he's kind of thinking, I'm marking someone who might go for a swing, doesn't see that the throw goes up the line and just loses track of his receiver.
yeah, it gets caught looking the other way. It's incredible to watch these world-class players do it, and sometimes unbelievable to see them, be human.
That's it.
From time to time.
Everyone makes mistakes, even at the very, very highest levels of the game.
Well, with that, we'll take a short break. We'll be back with more action. Germany 7, Australia 6.
What are they, spaceships from Mars? No, they're Frisbees. Watch it soar. It flies way around like a bird. You can even run for a pass. You can play all kinds of games. Isn't it amazing? Frisbee Flying Saucer. Yours at toy, drug, and department stores.
Oh my goodness.
That is unbelievable.
And traded the net and made for it.
That was absolutely incredible.
7-6, 31 minutes into the game. Australia and Germany World Games preview. And I say preview, but they would have to meander their ways through pool play for it to be a preview.
Yes, yeah. Hopefully it'll be a preview, because if we get a game like this in China, it would be very entertaining. I do look forward to watching those games. I always like watching the World Games. The structure is obviously, as a player, it must be quite odd. You play one game a day, kind of mitigates the kind of concerns you might have with a shorter roster. But as a spectator, I do enjoy one game a day. It makes it all feel very dramatic.
It's amazing. It's I've said it so many times that it is my favorite spectator experience in this sport. You really just get to know and feel and understand all the players, the team cultures, how they play, their systems. Yeah, I can't wait for it. And this tournament, to be able to be a preview, has been such a treat to have for the first time ever to have a World Games prep tournament.
It's been nice as well seeing the Americans kind of look a little mortal at times. Obviously the super team that you've all been part of, Steph, really, really close game there. It just gives you the kind of optimism. We get some good games all the way as we see a pull out the back. You don't see that often, especially it's not downwind.
And also, for your appreciation for our runners up,
We're hearing the presentations going on from the women's division on the showcase pitch, but all the action here. Field 4. Australia with a chance to bring it to 7-7 if they can score here.
You go side stack here, although they're moving over.
John O'Keefe from Wollongong to Weah, and now Gan. Gan, and bobbled by Andrews. And Schlur picks up. Germany could take half here. Sontag looks to the middle. Hogan taking his time. Shoots, fires, and hits. Schlur. Germany break to take and lead 8-6 going into half.
Yeah, just another miscue by the Australians of flat force. Just a little too difficult for Rob Andrews to bring in. He had to really kind of bend down to try and bring that one in, but that quick break offense was absolutely excellent. And that throw by Lisa Schutz is absolute money. There is not a great deal you can do about that as a defender when you get the inside flick ripped into that space. Really, really tough for people downfield. Absolute peach of a throw.
Yep. Got McGuckin turned around there once again. Hogan really slowing things down. Stayed patient, eyes upfield the whole time, and by the time he got to shoot, she did it in one move. Catch and release with a strike backhand. So 8-6.
Not bothering with a half time. Let's just keep going.
I mean, it is a half.
So.
It was half
13.
already. It is a game
I
to 13,
see.
and I did know that. But we've been playing to 15 all weekend, so some things slip through the force of habit.
You've had a lot going on, Steph.
It is true.
So this is against 13 like it will be in the World Games, I see.
This is World Games simulated rules. It is one timeout per team, per half per team.
And that's the World Game structure. Okay, interesting.
Yes. So we did have the unofficial half earlier. Layout to keep it alive from Gan. Gan fires, Guck the target. We've got McGuckin and Sontag and it's Jonathan Schall who comes flying through. I think he does get a touch with the layout.
He did get a touch there. You could see Sontag playing the kind of like, I'm just going to wave my arms around and try and be in the way, and then Jonathan Schall didn't bother waiting for someone else to do it. He just went and did it himself.
Germany Another big chance here. Long way to go, and now the poach run through by Gan, and he's gonna finish the job. And even quicker possession for Germany, and Australia fire right into the end zone.
Yeah, that's the challenge with getting a turnover right in your own back corner. You have to bring it to that front cone, especially, as we said earlier, the wind is coming towards the camera as you look at it at home. That corner is basically the worst spot on the field to be. It's really, really tough. Good defense from the Australians on this set. You can see inactive Cutter over here brings in Gan, and Gan just leaves him completely because he can see that Sontag only has eyes for Charles. Good D from Gan, and then a nice little set between him and McGuckin. It's kind of had time to really go in there, didn't he? Didn't really have to attack it too hard. Charles did not know he was there. Did a good job staying safe. Always really difficult in those instances where someone's not looking. You see people come in and it's a little like, oh, it could be a bit dangerous, but good body control, good attack from Gan for the clean D.
37 minutes and change into the game. So just more than half of what will be a 70-minute game, but today's games get to a time cap and +1 to the highest score. Yesterday, if they were not within 1, they were game over.
I did see a couple of scores and think the team that was down scored, and yet we didn't carry on. That explains that.
Yeah, it's always a funny way. It is good for scheduling, I'll say.
Yes.
But it's always funny to watch an Ultimate game where the losing team scores last.
They're very counterintuitive for Ultimate players.
Diekman to Volchak. Now Priyan. Priyan to Muller. Fired. Nice catch by Muller. And Greenwald got meters, and the throw does go. I was not sure that was the intended target. I thought she was looking the other way, but Greenwald ran into it.
I think that was for Volchak. I think she just pointed at Volchak. I think that was for Volchak, but I mean, Harley Greenwald's coming across, adjusted to it. In the end, caught it like it was meant for him.
Wow. Got to be good to be lucky.
Yeah, I mean, Alva Muller is one of the best throwers in Europe, able to basically shoot to the end zone from anywhere on the field. This is a nice catch as she comes under and a bit of pressure. But yeah, you see Volchak has that space. I think that space is there for Volchak, so I think the throw is for her. But Greenwald adjusts really well. Good backing up for his teammates. It was his throw to Muller as well, so he's gone all the way down the field.
Yeah, you can see there, Ava Muller was not looking to the right side of the field there. I'm pretty sure she did not see that it was Hartley Greenwald cooking down to the end zone.
And I mean, it's another situation where Germany shooting deep, not really minding too much that Rob Andrews is being brought into that area, because Greenwald's being marked by Andrews. Again, you would think that if he's going to be going deep, you want to try and avoid him, but Germany have just been taking those shots deep anyway, making sure that Australia have to respect that deep game, makes the underneaths a bit easier as well. And they've been doing a really good job offensively so far. Well, you can see them having a little chat, little discussion about what works.
Big throw. Lands and rolls out. Pigeon to Erdmann. And Prentice, rather, fires forward again. McGuckin. Oh, and Gan coughs another one up. And the Australians with a handful of unforced errors in the last couple. Siebert picks up. High take. Sontag to Siebert. High stall count, and there's the interception. Back to Gan from Phillips. McGuckin. And Gan exchange. Once again, McGuckin. Cat Phillips. To Alex Gan, now meters away. Cut from Wea, and Gan chooses the other way. Gan and McGuckin, now pop pass, and caught by Gan just in front of the chase from Torben Haag.
Yeah, a couple of interesting points from that point. That last one, you see Conrad Schlur really desperately trying to get over to stop that backhand continuation from Sam McGuckin onto the break side, takes several steps over onto the break side, and McGuckin just immediately reads it, goes back to Gan, and just stands in that soft spot between players. Really, really good way of attacking a kind of a mismatch, someone who's over pursued. Really good, smart play from McGuckin. We're probably going to see it here. Gan goes. He's going to go back over to McGuckin. Conrad Schlur throws himself over there, and now McGuckin attacks that. And look at that huge soft spot in the middle between the two defenders. And he's able to use it to pop it back over to Gan. Really, really nice. And then from the German perspective, it looks at the moment like Nis Julius Sonntag is playing at kind of a different speed to the rest of the people on his line. They're getting these turnovers, but that's two where he's not quite been on the same page as his reset. That throw from Siebert was definitely to Sonntag, but Sonntag stopped halfway through his reset cut, and the Australians were able to eat it up from there. So Sonntag, really, really good player. A lot of good players in this German team. Perhaps this is just a talking about it as we see a discussion going on the sideline between those handlers. Maybe we just need to reaffirm exactly what they're going to be doing in those handler spaces so that they can get back on the same page and start converting the chances that they are being given by the Australian offense.
Andrews set to pull. Crocs will need a couple breaks if they're going to take this one, and that starts on defense. Nico Mueller and company. Not feeling in the giving spirit, I would imagine. Charlotte Schall. From Volchak and back again.
We're in a zone again.
Nico Mueller. Diekman hanging onto the disc for a while here. Blades to Schlur. Schlur fires, and that is going to work. Greenwald all alone for the goal. Make it double digits. 10-8 Germany lead.
Really good job by the Germans, keeping it swinging around the back. The Australians are playing this really pass people off, switch, kind of stay in those lanes, make it challenging, challenge the unders. They did a great job of pulling out one of the deeps. Then we had Conrad Schlur go in, and Rob Andrews has to make a decision in that moment. Do I go out with Hartley Greenwald, or do I attack the disc with Conrad Schlur, putting that defender in conflict? You see, right over the top, Andrews is going to come in at the last minute, think, oh, no, I probably made the wrong decision here. Goes over his head. In the end, it looks easy, but it's because of really good decision-making by the German offense. It's not often you see a kind of blade and then immediate flick deep for a score. You know, usually there's going to be more pressure than that. The Australians were doing a good job until the Germans worked it out. I wonder whether we see that again, though, considering it's fairly late in the game.
Well, we'll be keeping our eyes on that, as with everything. The flight passage overhead, we're very near Heathrow Airport here. Making it a very convenient place to come for an international tournament.
Yeah, it's only about 8 miles from my house as well, so perfect for me. Let's do more of this.
I'm sure we'll be back next year.
Is that you asking for a room again?
You better believe it. McGuckin to Gan. Low, picked up by Phillips. Weah sends deep, and great chase for the reception. Mark McLee with a goal in his first stat of the game.
Yeah, I said it earlier in the game, but it bears repeating. The Australians are so good at getting that shot to the middle of the field and then having an on-rushing handler to pop off onto. The real advantage of that, when you're able to do that, the person who's catching is almost certainly looking away from the end zone they're scoring in, because they have to be looking at the Frisbee as they catch it. Whereas the person who's on rushing is going forwards, can see the whole field in front of them and is able to make a decision from there. Just means they're in a much better position to take on those attacking throws when they get the disc in their hands. And the Australians have been really good at that. It's a nice catch in the end as well. Good contest by the German defender, but the throw is placed perfectly.
That sun is coming down now. The clouds have pushed aside just for a bit and starting to feel the heat.
Yeah, the wind's died as well. It's really not as windy as it was to start the game.
Got to imagine these athletes are feeling it even more than we are, of course.
How challenging has the schedule been in the mixed division, Steph? They're like, well, they'll be feeling it.
Oh yeah, every game's been a hard-fought battle. Is the long and short of it. I mean, the Crocs played one game against their kid brothers, the mixed blue bottles, and Germany played against Canada under 24, who were tough when they played the Tokai Super Team. But you know, every game a World Games caliber play. They've been tough for sure. The schedule a little bit forgiving with 2 slots off after every game, enough time to recover. But the elements, more so the wind than the sun. But on day 1, the sun was hot, hot, hot. Ava Muller gets up and takes. Greenwald fires. Volchak in the corner. And Germany stay ahead with another 11-9.
Yeah, it's a really elite throw from Greenwald. There's a very, very small space that he can throw that, both in terms of time before the mark gets there, and he's on the sideline throwing to Lev Kovalchuk going away on the same sideline. The little box you have to hit there is very small. And he gets it out in time, puts the perfect angle on it. Really nice German offense. They spread it out a lot, moved it side to side, used the middle of the field very effectively. And Ava Muller is kind of in this backhand position. I did not think that throw was going to Greenwald until the last minute. And then that throw is absolutely on the money. Nice point for the German offense. And it looks as though we have a timeout, although I'm not clear on who called it.
The timeout. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd imagine it's Australia.
Yeah, you would think.
With, you know, time's fine, but the score's moving quite quick here. So game to 13. We're going to take a break. It's Germany 11, Australia 9.
I worked for a Michelin star chef making gelato in Paris. I had my own restaurant in Nicaragua and a food truck in Australia. Why wouldn't you watch me? Check out my YouTube channel. Shopping Zillow? And need a trusted resource for your real estate questions? Want to check on loan pre-approval? Reach out to HomeForce, an all-in-one home buying service engineered for ultimate players, fans, and friends. The HomeForce team provides services in real estate, mortgage financing, insurance, and much more. No pressure, no commitment, just trusted advice.
HomeForce, for all our American viewers, but any around the world looking to get into the home buying market, check them out. Let them help you with everything from A to Z on your home buying experience.
A to Z, isn't it? It was American market.
Oh yeah, A to Z. Thanks for the correction there.
No worries. That's what I'm here for.
And Siebert.
An interesting pull.
Sends it. Gann and Prentice exchange. Now Phillips. Gann in the middle. Guck charges under. Ooh, that one rose right into the chin of Gann. Now Carr. Pop to Gann. Prentice. McLee and Gann. Exchange. Red zone, fire, not in yet. Weah. Jams it into the corner, even closer. Gann back to middle, a little safer now. Prentice to McGuckin. McGuckin to Alex Gann, and once again, McGuckin flipper over the top. Olivia Carr was suspiciously open, and we know what that means. It's a pick on the play. Gann. Weah. Alex Gann and Sam McGuckin exchange again. Caught cleanly, McLee. And Australia bring it back to within 1. 11-10, they got their work cut out for them, but they're still very much in this one.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed. It really looks as though when Alex Gan is playing like that, it's very difficult to contain him. He was basically going every other in that one. You could see Sontag working so hard to try and get into a good position, but Gan is just so quick in and out of those breaks, he just couldn't stay in front of him, really. It's a forced switch. Konrad Schlur gets put on him. Schlur, not only probably the best defender on this Germany team, but one of the top 10 defenders in the world or something like that. I mean, he's absolutely elite. And still, he can't really stay with Gan either. So when Gan's in that kind of mood, tough to stop, especially when you've got another player like Sam McGuckin, who's able to play with him. And it looked as though there was nice synergy across the team, to be fair. All 7 players on that line knew exactly how to play with Gan, dominate the disc in that fashion. And the Australians have been very, very good at that.
I did see part of the Australian coaching staff, Yui, calling a timeout. And so we do have another break here. But the Australians called the timeout, or so I thought, unless he was reiterating the call. And they're ready on the line first, so they just want to take the break. Makes sense.
Yeah,
you know, there's enough time in this game, but
yeah.
points to play, not many to go. They want to use this second half timeout.
You can see Ian French doing a lot of talking in that huddle. I mean, from a coaching perspective at this stage for Germany, I'm not sure that there's going to be too much stuff that's really vital to address, because their offense has been looking nice. They've been moving the disc quickly. They've been attacking the middle of the field and the deep space, which made it really tough for Australia to cover them. Defensively, they've struggled to get purchased on the last couple of points, but I mean, they've had enough situations where they've got turns, they've got pressure on the Australians. I'm sure they'll figure something out and put the pressure back on them. So interesting that they decided to take that long to talk over things.
Rob Andrews continues to wait for affirmation of readiness from the Germans after the timeout. Test the grass, ready to pull. Schall goes to Mueller. Mueller finds Schlor. And Schlur goes to the center. Charlotte Schall and Lev Kavalchak. Schall. And that one bounced but caught. That should reset the stall count, in fact. Schlur. Mueller sends deep. Volchak has separation. Volchak puts another goal on the board. 12-10. Germans extend the lead.
Yeah, as soon as Evan Mueller catches that one, you look deep to see if there's anyone there. Every time Mueller gets her hands on the disc, the first thing is look deep, do we have a shot on? Because she can throw it, and Lev Kavalchak was able to get some separation. Patterson was doing a really good job for most of that point. You could hear the people on the sideline basically saying, don't even worry about where the disc is, just look at her and stay on her shoulder. Volchak was down in the handler space. You see on the far side of the screen there. As the disc comes over to Mueller, Volchak's taken off, attacked the middle of the field on that diagonal cut, and it's an excellent throw from Mueller to put it in a space where the defender has no shot at it whatsoever. As we look back at Schall throwing that swing, the one just beforehand, as you say, Steph, that was an unorthodox way of getting a reset stall. Usually you go to your dump rather than just bounce it off the defender and catch it again.
Yeah, I don't know how high a success rate would be if you intentioned for that to be your reset.
We won't be putting that in the Clapham playbook.
Oh, come on, give it a try.
But good patience. I mean, something like that. Good.
I mean, it's 1 for 1 as far as we've seen
true,
today.
It's true, 100% completion. But something like that can really throw off your concentration, throw off your rhythm, your spacing. But Germany did a good job, kept it moving. Pull drifts out.
Out of bounds. Gan fakes the catch. Into play for Phillips. McGuckin and Phillips. We to Gan and we again. McGuckin goes to the back of the end zone. Carr is there, and they're back to within one, but with 1 point to play, they are going to have to break their way to the finish line, and this will be a German win.
Strange point for Germany, that one. I think they were sagging into the lane, but that just meant that they had loads of space everywhere. And the Australians went down the middle of the field, and it looked like they threw 5 passes that were basically wide open. I mean, one there, no one anywhere near him. Next pass, no one anywhere near him either. Or him. Or him. Or her. Yeah, not a great defensive point for a team that has been doing very well defensively up to this stage. What do you reckon, Steph?
Well,
Two breaks in a row?
I reckon at least one.
Yeah.
Things get pretty exciting here.
Yeah, it will, for sure. We've got agreement from the sideline as well.
Sam McGuckin likes it. He thinks they're going to break.
The German offense has been really good in this second half. They've been playing very, very nicely, playing with good tempo, good spacing. The last point, they got a little bogged down. Charlotte Schall, kind of a player who likes to survey the field with a disc in her hand. She had an open reset, but wanting to kind of find something more progressive downfield. Got into a little bit of bother there. But overall, team with good chemistry and clearly a good plan of attack.
And the pole will sail out of bounds. So Germany will have favorable starting position from the brick mark.
It's one of those things as well. Bricked pools, obviously, as we all know, are usually disadvantageous for the defense, but when you have a thrower like Avamula, field matching thrower that can put it anywhere on the field, becomes a real weapon for the German offense.
Muller into Volchak. Volchak forward. Schall hits the ground, but with the plastic in hand, looks to the end zone. This could be it for Germany. They're in the red zone. Muller goes high. Not in yet. Greenwald leads, but over top. And Australia are going to get a break chance here.
Hartley Greenwald rushing it slightly. That throw to Schall is wide open. Schall has loads of space, just too high. It's the things that pressure can do, Steph.
Pressures for tires. I heard. I also heard pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah, they both can't be true.
Yeah, pressure accounts for turnovers from time to time as well. And here's Rob Andrews.
Germany FM here.
Alex Gann deep in their own end. Andrews fills some space. Must be a pickup field. I didn't see the hand signal, but I get that sense.
Germany FM, but they're backing. They're standing behind their receivers, making everything difficult, deep, but it's giving the Australians unders at the moment. Can they convert that possession into something progressive downfield?
Cat Phillips cuts away from Volchak and gets the disc. Phillips to Weah. She wisely waits for Gann as she heard the footsteps. Oh goodness, did Gann catch that? It went off of Muller's head. No, it did touch the ground.
Oh, that was good, wasn't it? That was almost incredibly dramatic.
It's like a headbutt.
Yeah.
Ava Muller on the pickup. Next chance, can they win it? Diekman. Big pressure on the mark. Trying to sight Schall, then goes back to Ava Muller. They don't mind losing meters, but they will mind losing possession. Alex Gann picks up, fires, and that one a bit too far, but they'll put him at the other end.
Germany all second half and for most of the game have been really doing a great job of playing the offense at their own speed. They are not playing at their own speed at the moment. The Australians have sped them up, and it looks like Germany are stressed and playing at a level they have not played in this entire game. So you can tell, one, they know that they're a point away from winning, but two, the Australians are putting everything into this and making it difficult. By the same token, the Australians are also rushing, and then that's maybe why they've got 2 break chances and haven't come away with a break yet.
Wheels are spinning out there, that for sure. Nikki Prian comes under. Now Volchak with Gan crossing in the lane. He's trying to play catch up. Volchak shoots, looking for Diekman, and Diekman comes down. Big goes to Muller. Germany take the win, but we've got a travel called. So I've spoken at least a moment too soon.
I was thinking I would be surprised if he hasn't thrown that while standing in the end zone.
Yeah, that's the travel. No foot drag here, just didn't reset himself. Coming back now, we'll try. And we get a hack from Bray, which will be a foul call.
I mean, I think it's probably a foul, but I don't know what Diekman necessarily expects pivoting into the space where the defender is. There's going to be some level of contact, but it's probably a foul. The defender's moved into the space as well.
Can Australia prevent from the goal line? Diekman spinning, searching, pops one up. Not sure that's the option, but Muller out jumps Rob Andrews and cashes that one in. Who is this handler, Nico Muller?
I didn't have that one on my bingo card, I have to say. It's a great read and a great catch by Muller, but Diekman was looking around and didn't have an option for a while there. That was tough, but really, really good point for Germany. That's one of those ones where you just have to drag it out the fire. That's all guts and all determination is what that one is. But Levka Volchak, you could see she caught it and she pointed downfield. She's like, right, I have it. I'm confident I can throw this. One of you needs to run that way. And Diekman took off. It's a great catch under pressure from Bray. That's a really, really good throw. Good game. Both teams, stuff to work on, but both teams showed really impressive defense, offense. So we see this throw. Andrews looks like the favorite the whole way, but Nico Muller just gets a slightly better read on it and gets up there. It's a great catch. Yeah, good game by both teams, but impressive win for Germany. I look forward to watching these teams play in China.
Yeah, it's going to be good in China. The action will be nonstop. I know we got more action going on the other field right now. The showcase game, USA and Canada have begun. It is 5-3 for America. Sorry for not saying spoiler alert first, but I've done it now. We are going to have one quick look at the Kennington Doghouse play of the game. Here it is. Earlier on, McGuckin gets free and fires. Gan at the back of the end zone, putting on the burners, lays out and drags not only the feet but the whole back half of the body for the goal. Australia feature in the play of the game, but it is Germany who take the win here from London. If you're here in London, make sure you get out to the Doghouse in Kennington, grab yourself a refreshing libation, and enjoy everything else that comes with pub life in London. For the ULTI.TV crew, they've worked tirelessly here in London. Rex and Katie, Lou on this side, Rob, Henderson, and all else. And of course, for Sean Cole for jumping in on the cans for this game. Thanks, Sean. I've been Stefan Rapazzo. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.
Let's see.